Así se sacude el acordeón, compadre.
¡Échale, Joey!
Así se sacude el acordeón, compadre.
Chronomax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mexico Radio Talk Show.com. Man, it's been a while, man. It seems like we've been out of the misery for a little while, you know? No, hombre, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the airways con ustedes. Bienvenidos, man. It is the sixth day of 2026, man. Man, it felt like we were just we have been gone for a long time, but we were just on for our Christmas extravaganza show, and then we were just on for our end of the year show, man. Right around a couple of days before the new year, and then we were, like I said, man, we did our Christmas extravaganza. So those two shows right there, guys, on our podcast are going to be yearly, man. So each year, man, or each time, man, we do one of those extravaganzas on our podcast. You're going to be able to see those. Once and for all, man. You're gonna be able to see those all the time. And we're gonna have different artists, different guests, and we're just gonna have totally so much fun with you guys. All right. Just going down the list here, man. I want to give a couple of shout outs to everybody in La Casa. Thank you for tuning in with us. Got the beautiful um Audrey out there, man. También, man. We got the beautiful Almisa Valdez, man, out there, San Antonio, Texas. Bienvenidos a todos, man. Thank you for hanging out with us because we are the new Mexico Radio Talk Show. Number one podcast in La Onda, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to us every single week. We are on Monday through Thursday, roughly about 8 o'clock. All right. That's 8 p.m. Texas time, 7 o'clock p.m. New Mexico time. All right. Just real quick, man. I want to give a couple of shout outs and a couple of information that we got going on throughout the week. I want to give a shout out, man, to Mercedes Renee and beautiful Tina Martinez, baby T, man, for holding down the fort last night, man, with the awesome interview. I got to catch some of that last night as well. But don't forget, man, we got a lot of guests, man. We got Magali Valles coming in tomorrow, and then I believe on January the 12th, man, we got Brenda Blanco, and then I believe on Tuesday, which is the next day, which is next week, right? We got on the 13th, we got the talented vocalist. We got Noela Hernandez. And then also, man, we got the Camila and Bella Divas, man, all the way from Laredo, Texas, coming in on a hump day Wednesday, going to do a jam session with us. And in the meantime, I want to welcome in my lovely host and my promotion assistant. I know we got another one on board with us, which is going to be starting with us next week or something like that. I just got off the phone with her. Tina Weaver's going to be starting with us. She was feeling a little bit ill today, or the whole week. I think there's a lot of people getting ill. I was ill the other night también. I got over it, and we're back on the airways. Going to status. I want to give a big shout out to my good friend. She's good at what she does, man. She got about 95 songs written, something like that, man. I don't know how she does it, man. One day we're gonna interview her, all right? One day when we open up our schedule a little bit, we're gonna interview this beautiful artist as well. I don't know how she does it, man. I don't know how she multitasks, being on the podcast and doing her everyday life and then writing music and being able to be what we have today, great people, right? I want to welcome in a good friend of mine, the beautiful Mercedes Renee, man. She does everything for the New Mexico Radio Talk Show as well as everybody else does, man. We all put our part, our feet, our hands, our heads, our eyes on the podcast, and that's why we're so successful at what we do. And we learn every single day what to do, what not to do. We get advice from our fans out there. So Mercedes, welcome back. It is 2025, right? No, am I going back?
2026.
Am I
Yeah, you're
going
going
back or what,
backwards.
man?
You're going backwards.
Yeah, man. Really 6 days in, man. Kick off the show, man. 2026, man. You guys kicked it off right yesterday, man. And what
Yeah.
an awesome guest, man. Ladies and gentlemen, first show and in quite some time without Hen Dog, man. Everybody's probably like, where in the hell is Hen Dog at? But that's why you got teams, that's why you got members who are able to multitask and be able to hold down the fort whenever I'm ill or I'm absent or I got other things going on. And that's why we
Yep.
got a team for us. So awesome interview with Tina Martinez, Baby T, and Mercedes Renee holding it down, man, with an
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
artist, right? Awesome people, man. Any shout outs, Mercedes, you want to give out there before we bring in our talented guest?
No, not really. Just to Miss Tina. She's out there, doing her thing, and just, my family, my friends, and just, all the listeners out there that support us. And thank you. And just like, share, follow, and tune in every time that we're on. And we appreciate it. We love you guys. And we're excited to have Mr. Mario on today. And we look forward to hearing what he has to say.
Exactly. You know, I love this show, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what a CEO is? Chairman Executive Officer, just to clarify for you guys out there. Just because I'm the owner of the show, I don't just like it, right? Because I'm the owner. I love what I do. I love what we all do because we get to hear the insights of these artists, man. And we don't just do artists, guys. So don't get it twisted, okay? We interview anybody that wants to come on the show. So I like this show because we get to hear the insights of these artists. We get to see like what got them to be musicians, and see if they got a plan B, a plan C, if this is what they want to do full time. But I love this show from the bottom of my heart, man. You know, I was thinking about, when I was on a radio station, I was like, man, how can I incorporate what I'm doing on online radio station with virtual being live, So, you go through all the sources, you're YouTubing, you're Googling, different frames, different gigs, different gimmicks to try to make this happen. And here we are 4 years later, something like that. Have to look back, guys, to see how long I've been on the podcast. That way we can have an annual anniversary, right? Maybe in Texas, maybe in Kansas, maybe in Chicago, maybe in Roswell. We never know. We might have one somewhere. Um, but yes, we got a talented guest. We always have guests on our show. Um, we are booked, guys. We are taking bookings already, man. So if you can't get a hold of myself, I got a lovely assistant that's willing to help. Mercedes, I know she's busy with her schedule. But if I don't reach back out to you guys, I know Mercedes will, or any one of our members, man, reach out to us, and I will put that out there on Facebook, man, of our members. That way, everybody can reach out to them. I know we got a few new heads starting in, I believe next week. I know we got one starting in tomorrow. Beautiful Esmeralda Benavides. We also got Almisa, who's out of San Antonio, who's going to be joining, I believe next week. She's a little bit ill. I mean, there's a bug going around, guys. So take care of yourself. If you don't drink water, please do. All right. If you don't like medication, well, take medication anyway. No, just kidding. No,
Drink orange juice. Drink orange juice.
right? No, no, just got to get everybody feeling healthy, man. But yes, I do got a few new heads starting in next week. Fanfare, be on the lookout for that event, man. Be on the lookout. But without further ado, man, I appreciate this guy taking his time. Thank you to Rap Rosie, Heather Jolene Alcantar with the Rap Rosie Promotions, making all this happen. They are two great friends of mine. Rap Rosie Distributions, great distributor, good friend of mine, great mentor. She's gave me some advice on how to become a music distributor, and it is not easy, guys. And you can ask Rap, you can ask anybody who's in the distribution portion. There's some out there that only just do distributions. There's some that do promotions. There's some just do bookings. But hats off to everybody in the promotion business. Rather if you're a manager, promoter, whatever you guys are doing, my hats off to you guys. It's not easy work, guys. So, and we are learning ourselves. But I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there. Thank you to Rap Rosie, Heather Jolene Alcantar, Rap Rosie Promotions for making this possible, setting this up with Mario Alberto. What's going on, my good friend? Mario, what's going on,
Hey,
bro?
what's going on, y'all? Appreciate you guys having me tonight.
Well, first of all, I want to reverse that a little bit. We thank you as a musician, as a father, husband, friend, uncle, Theo, and a musician for your dedication and coming out to our shows, because here's the thing. These artists, you guys put in the time, the money, the effort, the sweat, the tears, and to take an hour of your time when you could be in the studio, or you could be writing, or you could be in a music video or traveling, you're taking time for us, man. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot, man. Appreciate it. I love doing this. I love doing these interviews. I have the same passion that you do, Henry. Is just getting an opportunity to, as a musician, from my perspective, meeting, podcasters and radio hosts and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I love tapping into like your guys' perspective, right? Because you guys tend to look at music a little bit different than maybe as a musician or an artist, right? So I love meeting new podcasters, new radio folks, because they bring so much experience, so much knowledge, just so much wisdom to the table that I love hearing that. It's for me, it's almost like a third party form of feedback that I'm getting as I hear you guys talk. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good point, right? So my ears are all open to you guys, man. So
No, it is, man. And it's just like us, we're podcasters, right? And of course I'm a DJ, and I am probably not in anywhere anybody's cup of tea as a podcaster or a DJ, right? But we try to make the best of it, and that's how you guys are as musicians,
yeah.
And that's just how it is. You're not gonna please everybody. You're gonna try to, you're gonna try to make the best of it, but we're here to have fun. That's what we're all here. We're here to hear the
Absolutely.
insights of the stories, and it's awesome that that the artists are excited to be on the show and get their music heard. That's one of our main goals here on the New Mexico Radio Talk Show. To the fans that are out there who has never heard of Mario Alberto, we like to put you guys out there, put you guys on game. This is our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Mario Alberto. He's got some fantastic music. We're about to hear some of it here in just a little bit. But the thing is, what we do here, we like to promote it, man. We like to get new faces. Like we like to get those wows. Like, where did this guy come from? That's the kind of feedback I like, because when you get that, when I get that kind of feedback from all the fans that are out there, I know they're interested, because they're like, man, I never heard this guy before, or I never heard this band before, or I never heard her before. That's the kind of feedback I like to hear on Facebook. Man, how did you get him on your show? Well, sources. No, just kidding.
I know, guy.
No, hilarious. But I'm gonna ask you the first question. I know Mercedes got probably thousands of questions over there. She does a lot of stuff, man. And since she's came on, she's been a blessing. Every host who does on this show has been a blessing to the New Mexico Radio Talk Show, because without them, there's no show. And without me, there's no show, period. But it starts with the host having great people and having great questionnaires. I'm gonna ask you the first one, because I know she's probably got 10,000 questions for you. So what got you going into being a music star? Did somebody in your family, a friend that you saw growing? How did you get moving? How did you get growing? How did you get started?
Oh man, I come from a musical family. My mom was a vocalist. My dad was a musician. My dad played accordion and bajo sexto.
Wow.
And so a lot of my siblings also played. I think almost. So I'm the youngest of 9, right? Back in the days where families were large, right? And so I'm the youngest of 9. So I think out of the 9 siblings, I think 7 of the 9 either play or sing. I've got a couple that. Yeah, they're good DJs, right? But right. And no offense to the DJs, right? But they're not musically inclined, right? And so I was exposed to it, right? So again, being the youngest of 9, man, I was exposed to anything from Motown to the classic rock, right? The Boston, the Eagles, Doobie Brothers, Journey, all the classic 70s. And then I'm an 80s kid, right? So I grew up with all the hair metal, right? And so I just had early exposure to it. I can remember sitting on my dad's lap when my dad would be playing the accordion. I'd be like poking at the buttons, trying to figure out how that's all working. And then it just was instilled in me and ingrained in me from a young age, man. And so I think I started playing, locally, in Oregon. I was about 15 or 16, something like that. And as a matter of fact, that my latest single was a remake of, so that song was the first song I wrote. I'll give you a little bit kind of early backstory, but it ties into my history. That was like the very first song I ever wrote. Wow. And so when I was like in my teens, put that together, wrote it and arranged it and whatnot. And so I was in Oregon playing Tejano music, did that for many years, between up in Oregon, Idaho, and Washington. And so the passion just kind of grew. Not only was I playing it at this point, but now I'm listening to all the, the early DLG, right? When Emilio was singing with DLG, right? Jay Perez also coming in, right? But because I had a lot of exposure to like the Royal Jesters, Freddie Martinez,
Wow.
Even on the conjunto side, like Rubén Vela, Los Dos Gilbertos, right? A lot of those guys from my dad. I had just such a hodgepodge of music that I was constantly bombarded with. My ear was just like, where do I turn? You got all this great music, and where do I go? And so that kind of is what was the genesis for my love and passion for music. Of course, did the whole thing through middle school and high school, and studied music after high school and whatnot. So so that's really what got me into it. And then honestly, I played Tejano music probably for 8-9 years.
Wow.
And then banda hit, right? The whole banda movement hit like in the 90s. And so I took a detour. I was curious. I wanted to go check it out. So I did banda and traveled for about 3-4 years on the road. 48 weeks out of the year, we were on the road. And so, there was a period in my life there where I was pretty heavy into the drugs and alcohol. So I just had to step back. And so I had a friend of mine reach out to me in 2020. He was like, hey, man, I need some keys for an album we put together. Are you interested in playing? And I had been retired from this, right? I was a worship leader at my church. I was a pastor at my church. And I was like, man, do I want to get back into this, right? Do I really want to do this? And so I talked with my wife and I talked to my buddy. I said, man, I got to pray about this, because I knew what my history was. And I was like, I really got to pray about this, man, because I'm not real sure.
Exactly.
And so I was like, all right, man, I'll do it. I'll do this gig, right? I'll go down, I'll do it. So I knocked it out. And on the flight home, I kid you not, I wrote 3 songs on the flight home. And it just like sparked a passion to be in music. And I was in a different mindset. I'd gotten healed, of many things, over the years. And so, I continued to play with my buddy for a couple years. And then, we just kind of started going different directions. And so I took the step to go out as a solo artist. And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out and I'm just going to try it. And we're almost 2 years into it now as a solo artist. And it just like, I'm still growing. I'm still developing. And so that passion is still there. And minus the ego, right, that I had, 30, 40 years ago, whatever it was, right? But that's really what spawned, my desire to get out and want to just play and just really share my craft and share the gift and the talents that God has given me with those people that are around it. Like, and you were so spot on, Henry, earlier today. You're not going to find that niche with everybody, right? But there's a lane out there for everybody. And that's all I'm looking to do, is just find my own swim lane. I'm not a Jay Perez. I'm not an Emilio. I'm not a, all these other pioneers, but I am, I have my own style. I've got my own voice, and I'm just looking to carve out a lane for myself to have some representation out there. So.
No, and you're totally correct on that, man. And nobody is going to be, a Jay Perez or Emilio or even Selena, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to be that, man. And at the end of the day, man, you got to come up with your own repetition and your own niche, and that's what you're doing. You're paving your own wave. You got Mario Alberto. You're doing your own thing, and for you to come out of all the stuff that you've been through, man. I mean, I know that stuff ain't easy, man. I have never been alongside of that. The drugs or the like, the fine print. The weed, the whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I've been around friends and stuff that done it, been around that, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I need to get away from these people because I am going to go to jail just like they are, right? So, but for you to, to kind of put that out there on our show, man, and for you to overcome that and go elsewhere, man, and take it to another level, and get out of that and see what it could have done, and look where you're at now. Who knows where you would have been if you'd have started doing the same thing? Where would you be?
Yeah, I'd probably be 6 feet under. Honestly, at the rate that I was going, seriously. No, I mean,
or in jail or something. You know what I mean?
It was a pretty bad. I mean, addictions are a real thing, right?
Exactly.
Not that I want to go down that road, and from a psychology perspective, right? But addictions are a real thing, right? There's a lot of things that lead to addictions. But where I'm at today really is just a testament of God's grace and His transformative work of what He's able to do, and because without Him and His grace, I would not be able to even do and even just be here, right? So yeah, it is. I do throw that out there because it is a big part of my story and it is a big part of my identity. So, and so that's where I find a lot more like hey, and I think that's what gives me that peace. Like, hey, I know I'm not going to be one of these superstar things, right? But my identity is not in my music, right? So my identity is in Christ, and then I'm just sharing my gifts and talents with everybody. So along the way.
I love that. I love that so much. So do you still on Sunday worship, and are you still on the team?
Not on the team. My wife and I, we both have kind of stepped back in ministry. So my wife and I we're on our 20-year anniversary tour, right? So we hit 20 years this coming August, and so we're celebrating all year long, right? And so since we've been married, we were both in ministry. And so we stepped back from ministry about 3-4 years ago, just to really focus on us and our family. And so, but we're pretty much, we've got a pretty strong church community, and we're very, we're not part of the worship team, we're not on the ministry leadership team anymore, but we're very much involved with our church and our community.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of what you've overcome, and just so proud of what you're doing, and that's amazing. God is, you're so welcome. God is like a pivotal part of my life, and I just feel like that's just a blessing that he's, put healing in your life, and that he's done what he's done. And it's just such a testament of who you are as a human being. And I love that. I'm just
Thank you.
for you. Yeah, no, you're welcome. So question.
Yeah.
So you write your own music. I'm a singer-songwriter as well. I've written like 75, a little over 75 songs already.
Yeah.
So how do you know when one of your songs is like, that this is it, this is going to be a banger? So how do you know as a songwriter which one of your songs is going to be a banger?
That's really hard because, I think with any craft, it's hard for me to say, yeah, this one's it, because it's really up to the audience, right? The audience are the ones who say, oh man, I'm going to take this song, I'm going to run with it.
Right.
It's funny because the songs that I have really liked the most have done the poorest. So it's hard to like, oh, this one's it, this is the money song, I can feel it.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to to say this one's it, right?
Yeah.
And so I get like when I'm songwriting, because songwriting is new to me, right? Even though I wrote that first one many years ago, I've only been songwriting for maybe 3 years, 4 years, something like that.
Okay.
And so it's still fairly new for me. But I think to just say, hey, this is it. I write to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm good with this. The storyline makes sense. There's a term in Nashville that they use. There's not too much furniture in the song, right?
Right.
And so I'm good with it, right? Let's get to the point, and I'm okay with it, and then I'll put it together, right? And so I don't know if there's like a list of boxes to check, but I know that feeling that you're saying, oh man, this song is gonna hit, right?
Yeah.
There's the song that I wrote. It's called Una Noche Más. I wrote that song from my mom. My mom passed away a few years ago, and it really tells the story of my mom when she was caring for my dad, and I knew my dad was going to pass, and so did my mom. But my mom and dad were married 48 years before my dad passed, right? And the song was written from a perspective like, if I could just have one more night with you, knowing we were married for 48 years. What else would I say? What else would I do? Right. And so I kind of wrote that song, right? Knowing that the time is coming,
Right.
but you're still a wife, you're still a mom, and how do you care for those things? And so when I wrote that song, I thought, man, everybody's going to connect with this. But because we all go through it, right? At some point.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But I think it was too emotionally vulnerable for a lot of people to hear. And so, because I've gotten a lot of mixed feedbacks, like, oh man, that song just hit home. It reminds me of, I lost a parent, or I lost, so-and-so, and I really related to it. And I've had people say, you know what, I can't listen to that song. I am not ready to listen to that song. Right. So there's a lot of emotional vulnerability to it. So that's kind of a tough question to answer. I know it's a long answer to maybe a more simpler answer, but it's hard to say, yeah, this is when I can feel it.
No, yeah. With some of my songs, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like so good because I get like goosebumps. I'm like, "Ooh, this is good," because my
Yeah.
feelings like just come out.
Yeah.
And then there's some where I'm just like, maybe, or maybe I need to tweak it, or maybe I need to
Yeah.
something. So with your songwriting, do you know how you want the song to be sung? Like with all my music, I know how I want the
Yeah.
song to be sung. Do you know how you want it to be sung, or do you give it over to a producer?
No, because I'll produce my own songs as well.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, so usually when I'm writing, I've got like a kind of a baseline melody that I'm going with.
Mhm.
And then depending on, how the production and the arrangement goes, and all the embellishments, because, as a songwriter, you start with here's the concept, then
Right,
you start adding to it, is it keyboard? Is it accordion? Is it
right,
sax, right? And all that stuff changes. And so once I've got the music down, then I'll start playing around, like, how am I going to sing it?
right.
And then even after I'm adding things vocally, then I go back and readjust the music to fit what is done vocal. So it becomes this iterative process back and forth. But I think probably 80% of the melody is stabilized by the time I'm done writing the song.
Nice. Do you play any instruments?
Yeah, sax and keyboards are my primary instrument, but I also do bass guitar and drums as well. So
Nice. I play the piano, the piano,
oh,
but I
nice.
really want to learn how to play the drums. Like I
Oh,
really want to learn how to play the drums.
really? That's
I
like
do.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was told though that the drums are hard to learn if you know how to play the piano. Is that true?
Mm, I don't know. Can you pat your head and rub your belly? Do that same thing,
Of
right?
course, of course. Yes,
Because it's all about coordination, right? Um, yeah, I think I honestly, because with piano, I don't know if you read music as well,
I do.
but your left hand typically is doing something different than your right hand,
Yeah,
especially when you're reading, right?
yeah.
So if you can do that, you got both left brain, right brain thing going on. So yeah, I don't think it would be an issue, picking the drums because you've got the rhythm down, and you've got the coordination. So I don't think it would be an issue.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really want to learn how to play, and I have an electric guitar in my closet that was gifted to me,
Oh
and
wow.
I want to learn how to play that, but I want to learn how to play the drums first.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. No,
yeah.
I love playing. I love playing drums. It's one of my favorite instruments to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because it's like a release of endorphins, like it's a release, or is it just because it's fun to play?
Well, it's fun to play, but it's like I don't know. I feel like because I'm using like all limbs, I feel like I'm
Right.
totally engulfed and just engrossed in it, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when I perform, I play with my acoustic. And
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, yeah, I've got a
Got it.
guitar and I'm singing stuff like that. But with the
Yeah.
drums, it's like it's everything,
You're just
right?
like, you're going
Yeah,
crazy. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So if there's one person that you could perform with that they don't have to be alive, dead or alive, who would it be with?
Oh man, I'd have to say Prince, either Prince or Michael Jackson.
Oh, I love
Uh, Prince was such an underrated musician, and he had so many great hits, but he was such
Mhm,
he was way ahead of his time.
mhm.
For all he wrote so many great hits, but the way he thought as a music, I mean, a phenomenal songwriter, phenomenal musician, but he was just like he was on a league on his own. Same with Michael Jackson, right? Michael
Yeah,
Jackson was just an incredible producer, and he had an incredible team around him, right? Working with Quincy Jones, and
yep,
and so, but any one of those guys, just even just to be on stage and play the freaking shaker with guys like that, right? It just
right, I
just to
know.
just to learn from them, man. God, those guys were both just geniuses, and even
What's your
Quincy
favorite?
Jones for that matter, too, right?
Oh, yeah. What's
Yeah.
your favorite Prince song?
Oh man, Purple Rain.
There you go.
Yeah, Purple Rain's one of my favorite. Yeah.
Well,
Have
well,
you
you
have you heard The Beautiful One?
Have I heard what?
The Beautiful Ones by Prince?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry.
That's my favorite.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, The Beautiful.
It's funny. Years ago, some friends of ours and we used to put together a once a month worship night, and I took that song Purple Rain and I changed the lyrics to, rather than Purple Rain, I changed it to God is Great.
Oh, I
And
love
so
that.
kind of the same format. And so yeah, it's I mean, we played around with it here locally and had a lot of fun with it. But
I
yeah, so
love
but I've
that.
always loved that. There's just so much discipline because it's such a vulnerable and empty song.
Yes.
because there's so much space in there.
Right.
And and Henry, I don't know if it would be the equivalent of like having blank airtime, on a podcast, right? And there's a vulnerability that comes with having that empty space in a song.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I love that song. It's such a moving song, but there's just so much space in there, and the way he sings it's just like, oh man, it's genius.
Yeah. He's
Well,
amazing.
just to touch on Prince, man, and I mean, of course, just a little bit before my time, of course, right? But being in the DJ era, you got to know your music, right? And I watched some clips, man, and I watched some videos, man, and this guy is just like a one man band, man. He don't need.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't need a band, to be honest with
Mhm.
you. He could play every instrument by himself.
Yeah. And was
And-
good at it. Was
right? Yeah,
amazing
no
at it.
kidding,
Yeah.
right? Us over here that are trying to learn, like we're like, how do we play that?
Yeah.
But this guy to be good at what he does, man, is phenomenal, man. And one of these days, man, one of these years, man, I'm gonna go check out his studio, man, his museum and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
hopefully I can get out there, man. We got a few comments in the house, man. I want to give a few shout outs, man. We got our moderator team in the house.
No, the
Kendra
mods.
Muniz, Dottie Hernandez, San Antonio. Happy New Year's to all you guys, man. Hope you guys had a good New Year's.
Hey,
out there, man.
hey.
Also, a good friend of mine is in the house. Beautiful Almisa Valdez is in la casa. We got a few
Hi,
people in the
Almisa.
house. There's Kendra right there saying hello, Raza, and she's right here. We're running the New Mexico Radio Talk Show page, so she's out there hanging out with us. Man, we got Kendra, we got Dottie, we got Heather Jolene Alcantar. She says hello,
Right
amigo
on.
Mario Alberto Rap in the house.
Saludos, Heather.
And then she says right here, Heather Jolene says, it was awesome collaborating with you on Abrázame. Man, wow.
Oh man, yeah.
Look who we got in the house, man. We got Chrissy E says, aloha, mis amigos.
Chrissy E, aloha, Chrissy.
Hey, Chrissy. Good to see you, beautiful.
We got Dwayne M. Meadows says, hi, Mario.
Hey,
my
Dwayne.
friend.
Yeah, out repping the Midwest out there in Michigan.
And then there
Saginaw.
she is. Dottie Hernandez says, welcome in, everyone. And then right here from our good friend of ours, Chrissy E. out there, man, says, Mario Alberto is very humble artist, has great music. Wow. Great
Thank you,
Great
Chrissy.
comment right there. And we also got another good friend of mine, beautiful Irene Mendoza, all the way from, she says, saludos, all the way from Glendale, Arizona, man.
Hey, Irene.
There you go, man. We got a lot of people checking in, chiming in, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, man. No, but just touching on just some of these greats, man. It's awesome. What Prince and Michael Jackson could do, man. And I mean, who knows, man? Is there ever going to be something like that again from our generation, our genre, man? I mean,
Mm.
it's to me, Mario, us upcoming artists, man. That we see every day, man. They need to put a little bit more more muscle into their
Yeah.
music, man, because
Yeah.
what are we gonna do with all our legends? I mean,
Yeah.
look at Ela de Arena farewell tour.
Mhm.
Ruben Ramos getting up there in age, little Joe. You've seen Freddie Martinez has already done his time. Shale Lares has already done her time, but she's working on different artists and stuff like that, and being
Yeah.
mentored and with her recording studio and stuff like that. But I'm talking about these artists that are willing to travel, take a
Mm.
sacrifice,
Yeah.
perform every weekend. Like these artists have done it for 40 to 50 years.
Mhm.
What's going to be left in our tank for our genre? What
Yeah.
I mean, when let me just put it to you this way: what's going to happen when Little Joe retires, Ruben Ramos retires, Stephanie Montiel?
Hey,
Um,
don't put that on
there-
Stephanie.
there's a few left. You know what I mean? And what are we gonna do when all these artists are gone? I mean, where's our music gonna go?
Yeah. There are so many debates out there, man, about the future of Tejano music, right?
Exactly.
And there's the conversations go so many different directions. This is one of the reasons why I appreciate, getting the opportunity as a new, maybe as a not so known artist, right? Because there's so much talent out there. There's so much great music out there that it's tough to compete with some of the legends, right?
Of course.
And it's like any style of music, it's gonna morph, and it has to. technology, the everybody, no disrespect to what we had in the 80s and 90s as as Tejano artists, right? So much great music came out of there. But you look at all the artists that are performing today, right? Because I hear all this like, well, all they want to do is play cumbias. Right? Cumbias are fun, right?
Exactly.
I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago. They were like, "What happened to the songs about going out and getting all bello and drinking tequila and all this?" It's like, well, okay, that you don't hear too many songs like that anymore. But I think that's because the audience has changed a lot, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so, but that's the life cycle of the music, and if we don't adapt, we really run the risk of losing not only the genre, but losing all the work that all these new and talented artists are coming out bringing to the table, which is unfortunate because there's so much music out there and it really deserves a fair shake to be heard.
That's absolutely right.
Because that's our future.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And to touch on that real quick, Mario, is I mean, just because we got radio in our talk show, we're not a radio station. And I think if people get a little bit confused, and unless you really heard our podcast and stuff, but eventually one day, when I hit the lottery or something like that, or hit a real big sponsorship, of course we are going to get a radio station eventually, but everybody thinks we're a radio station because we've got radio in between our talk show. But the thing is, we're not better than any other radio station. Doesn't matter if it's FM, AM, or online. We try to take care of any artists that are out there. We're not like most where you got to pay us to play your music. That's just not how we roll. We want to get the music out there to the artists, for the artists, and to the fans. And that's why we do this for our fans and the artists. None of us here on our show, we don't get paid to do what we love to do. We do this because we love it, and eventually, in return, we'll end up getting paid and sponsorships for being on the show and stuff like that, and everything will work in its favor. I had an artist today. She's like, "Hey, how much you charge?" I'm like, we don't charge for interviews. Who's charging you for interviews? Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no kidding.
But we do this because we love it, right? And here's the thing: the artists already know where they can get their music heard. New Mexico Radio Talk Show. I do a music show quite frequently. There's times that I just told my host today, right before I brought you guys on. I just told her, I said, hey, there's times where, I do a show on Fridays. There's times I do a show on Mondays. Sometimes I do an early show, or I'll do one right before the show. I'll put out the music. I do an hour show, put out the music. And I try to get everybody's music out there. It doesn't matter if it's a legend song. It doesn't matter if it's an upcoming artist. I try to push it. I don't discriminate. Just because I may not like it, but my fans out there that tune in may like it. So, and that's just part of being in the DJ service or DJ business. And I'm not no better than anybody else, and I'm not trying to knock on doors and stuff like that. But it starts with the radio stations. It starts with the podcasters too, man. They got to give these artists and in the nightclubs and the bars and all that stuff, festivals, they got to give these upcoming artists a chance, man, to perform, man.
Yeah. No, it's real. It's real talk right there, man. It's about giving it a fair shake, man. And you look at like fanfare, right? There's people go to fanfare, because they want to listen to all the big names, right? It's free exposure, right? But for newer artists, it's hard to get in there, right? And a lot of newer artists don't have a band, so they come in as a track artist, right? And a lot of times you're only given like 15 minutes, like go. It's like, what do you mean 15 minutes, right? I'm just getting warmed up. My nerves are just getting settled in after 15 minutes, right? Give me a chance. Come on, right? And so, there's that fairness. I just wish there was a little bit more opportunity, for all the new artists to get out there on a platform like Fanfare or Tejano Fest or some of those other festivals that are out there, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me touch on that. The track artist part. Here's what I was just explaining to one of the artists that we have on our promotion staff. Here's what I don't get. Okay, so our Tejano artists, right? There's some that don't have a band, but they got tracks, and they may have 90 minutes of tracks, right, or 45 minutes or whatever they got. Okay, but you won't hire them like a band, but you'll hire like a Rihanna or a Bad Bunny who don't even have a band in the rap game. And I mean, I know it's different cultures, different
Yeah.
vibes. I get it.
Yeah.
But you'll hire them for 20, 50,000 and they sing over their tracks or they're lip singing, but you'll pay them big bucks. But you don't want to pay our Tejano artists who don't have a band. Makes no sense to me. I'm just like, what the heck's going on here, man?
I'm totally with you there, man. You know, in the in almost every genre that's out there, with the exception of like jazz, where they're very traditional and having a 3-4 piece, right? Backing tracks they're just a thing, right? That's just the way the music industry is. I don't know of a whole lot of concerts that you've gone to where they're not using a backing tracks, right? Look at Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, he packs the house, and it's him and his freaking, his repeater and his 3/4 size acoustic guitar, right? And he packs the house, right?
Yep.
And so, so I don't get that, right? Because go ahead, Andy.
And that's $100,000 just to book him,
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, you got to pay production and flyers and all that stuff. I get it. Out of 100 grand, I get it. But that's where I'm coming from, Mario and Mercedes. It doesn't dwell on me, man. I'm like, well, I don't want to hire a karaoke singer or a track artist. I'm like, oh, but you'll go hire somebody in the rap game or that doesn't have a band. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can probably get a band together, of course.
Yeah.
But when they get a band together, I mean, it makes it more professional and stuff like that. But a lot of these rap stars, man, and reggaeton artists, man, I'm just like, man, you're paying 50,000 to rent them when you could pay a Tejano artist the same amount or even a little less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't get it. I mean, and especially if the artist has enough music, just like they would for a regular band. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like really? But I mean, I guess I'm not the booking festival promoter. I guess that's why. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it was me, I'll book a track artist. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, there is an energy that comes with having a live band, right? I mean, it's tough to replace a live band, right?
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, up here, there isn't a huge Tejano scene up here on the western state of Washington. And the eastern side has more of a presence between Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, and Idaho. But around here, there's not a lot of Tejano musicians, right? And so when I do Tejano music up here, I have to have a backing track because I don't have a band. And I've had promoters tell me, it's like, I want to hire you, I want to headline you, but you need a band. It's like, okay, well, I'm working on it, but give me an opportunity at least until then, right?
Well, Mario, are they gonna want to pay you your fee so that way you make your money and pay your 5 or 8 musicians that you got? That's another thing. I get it. You got a 5-piece band. Yeah, you charge 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 for your band, of course.
Yeah.
And out of that, you got to pay expenses, hotels, and flights, and so really, what are you making at the end of the day? So I mean, it is tough. When the event promoter comes up and says, "Hey, I would like to hire you, but you need a band."
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna want to pay me my fee.
Yeah. And especially as a new artist, you're not going to get a lot of that, right? And that's where you got to strike that balance. So like
exactly.
I've gone to Texas, a couple times, and it's all been, just like marketing.
Right.
I have my business license and all that stuff. So it's a write-off for me at the end of the day, right? From a business perspective. But it's not like, I'm going in there to get my expenses, reimbursed, right? One of my last trips that I took, they brought me down, they paid for a lot of my expenses to get down, but it's not the same as going down to go perform, and, you're getting revenue on top of that, and you're going home and stuff. So there's a balance. I don't know how many, of all the Tejano musicians that are out there, I don't know how many of them do it full time. I don't know how many of them do it, they got a full-time job and then they're doing this on the side, right? I guess it's different if you're doing it full time, and you're making your living off it. That's a little bit different,
Well, it's tough, Mario.
Yeah,
it's
I've got a 9 to 5. Well, I work, evenings, but so, but that's my bread and butter, and I do music on the side, right? And so, I guess it's different if you were doing it full time as a living versus, trying to make a dent in the
Well,
footprint here.
well, this business is tough, man. I mean, I feel for the artists, and I say I feel the for the artists because I am an artist too. I'm a DJ, and
Hmm.
I still got to make a living for my family as well. I got to make a living for the podcast. This whole podcast ain't cheap, right? But
Yeah,
the thing is like it's a tough business, like yeah, everybody wants their $2,000 or 5 grand, whatever they charge for their set time. But there's got to be a point in time where you got to be like, hey man, I can negotiate a little bit, just to get my foot in the door.
yeah,
And it is tough, man. And like I said, I feel for the artist.
yeah,
Look at what you do, Mario. You record it, you write your music. If you go get it, if you go get another song written, from either like Mercedes or somebody
yeah,
down the line, right? You know, you got to encounter that, right? Nobody
yeah,
knows what it all takes, to get a song written,
yeah,
recorded, music video. You got to get people to be in the music video, and that's not free. You got to pay them
yeah,
a little. You're not going to pay them a whole lot, but you're going to pay them something
yeah.
to get advertised and
Yeah.
stuff. So
You got to buy
people
them at
don't
least
understand all
tacos at
that,
a
man.
minimum, right?
Yeah, right.
You gotta have tacos at a minimum.
No, but I mean,
Get them some chicle, something.
That's right. That's right.
no, but I and like I said, guys, I feel for these artists, man. And when I see an artist, putting one song out at a time, man, I'm just like, I understand because I'm sure the label is charging, 5 grand or 10 grand. I mean, I don't know what these labels charge, right?
Yeah.
I'm just taking a guess, and when you're putting out a track, I mean, you got to put out the right one. You got to be like, okay, well, this is going to be the one for us, and then you got to put out video to it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's not like you have to, but all makes sense. You're
Yeah.
making the song, and when you put the video together, it all makes sense for
Yeah.
for a booking or for a hirement, and
Yeah.
everything just comes with money, guys. Everything, merchandise. I was just
Hmm.
talking to Mercedes a while ago about merchandise. People don't understand. I got to get merchandise for our team. I got to sell merchandise so we can make money, so I can get more merchandise. It's a lot, man. I mean, yeah, when you get the shirt for a buck or $2 at the store, you still got to go put the logo on it. The
Yeah.
company's going to charge you $15 to put it on. So then when you go try to sell it, man, you got to sell it for, you got to make at least a little bit of a profit
Yeah.
to reimburse what you spent. So I mean,
Yeah.
eh, I just can't express it enough, man. Support your artists, man.
Yeah.
Buy their merchandise, buy their CDs. Well, if they got CDs, because everything's getting digital. It's crazy,
Yeah.
man, with all this technology. I mean, I can call Mercedes, hey Mercedes, can you send me that song? Or hey Heather, can you send me that song? Well, yeah, they can send it by email.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. And nowadays, right? And you're absolutely right. Get out and support, the artist, whether it is, downloading, streaming the music, merchandise, whatever. But really, like for me, my revenue just comes from performing, right? Because that's where, either taking in what comes at the door or I'm charging a flat fee, right? And that's where the money comes in. And that's where, having a band or just trying to get out there, and there's something about as you're performing more and more, you refine your craft and you perform, you refine your show and your entertainment and
Yeah.
all that other
Yeah.
stuff. And that's kind of where use the analogy, right? Well, we go to, we got practice squads, but game times, you got to get out on the field and you got to put it to work. And that's really where the refinement comes. And, when you're halfway through a song and you forget the lyrics, you're just like, crap, I wrote the damn song. I can't even remember the lyrics,
Yeah.
Well,
so,
well, let
but
me
how do you
touch.
sell it? Right. So,
Yeah.
Well, let me touch a little bit on events, like you said. That's your revenue, right? Because that's how you're making your living, right? For Mario Alberto and for your merchandise. you know it's sad, if you charge $10 at a venue, right? And you're charging $10, especially when you're hosting it, right? If you're hosting your own venue, your own show, and you're trying to get people to go into it, and you're charging $10, right, to everybody to get in, and you only get 5 or 10 people. You're like, well,
yeah,
there's 50,000 that live here, and you only get 5 to 10 people, and then you
yeah,
bring a country band, or you bring another band or another act in town, and they're doing $40 at the door,
yeah,
and then it's getting packed. You're like, well, what the heck's going on here? You know, it's sad, man. You know, and it happens here in our hometown too, man. Roswell, you know, you can go right up the road, man. You can go pay $10 at the club, and they're like $10. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could go to New York, you could pay 60. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, like when you go to the clubs up here in Seattle,
it's crazy, man.
that host, they host like a banda or some sort of a
Right?
narco corrido, right? It's $50 at the door,
Exactly. That's what I'm
and
saying.
it's packed, and it's like, what, $50? Serious?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
you and your wife, that's $100, and that's not even
$100
including
in.
food or drinks yet.
Yeah.
But they do that
So
with salsa. They do that with salsa too. Like
yeah,
the
same
Costco de
thing. Yeah.
Leon, if any of those people come, they charge like 50, $60 at the door, and it
Yeah.
gets way over capacity.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
they
yeah.
do the same with salsa.
Yeah.
But you get a Tejano band, Mercedes and Mario, and you charge $10, and people don't want to pay it. I'm like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
But
It's not
that's-
that
it's like that now. It didn't used to be like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like that, and that's where, I was just talking with a friend of mine on New Year's. I was down in Oregon because I played for New Year's Eve down just between Salem and Portland for New Year's, and I was talking to a buddy of mine down there, and we were talking about that, how the generations have changed, right? It tends to be an older generation that is still pursuing the Tejano music, and one of the reasons why I got into Tejano music, as a solo artist, was I wanted to bring the younger generation in. So when I perform up here, whether it's here in Washington or in Oregon or in Idaho, I always tell people, hey, this is a genre of music that's been around for a long time. Maybe it's taken a little bit of a backseat to the corridos, to the reggaeton, or to anything like that, right? But it's still thriving and it's still around. So I kind of preface, my shows with that. That way people have an idea. When they hear it, there's like, hey, you're not Los Tigres, right? What are you doing, right? And so, but because I want people I want to pique their curiosity, right? But I also want to just be me.
Yeah.
Right.
exactly.
And so, because they came to listen, so this is what I'm offering, right? And so, yeah, because we have to, otherwise, like we've said, it's going to be tough, from a future perspective. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. When
Yeah.
we were having a conversation with David Lee, and I told him, I said, I miss like the old days, like when the Tejano Music Awards like very first started, like all the artists were like there for each other and were gathering together and we're just loving each other, and we would all dress up and excuse me, we would all dress up and like go to the Tejano Music Awards, and everybody was like rooting for each other and loving on each other, and it was just so wonderful. And nowadays it's just like nobody is like has each other's back, and it's just like everybody is so like segregated, and it's just like it's not like it used to be. I really wish it would be like it used to be. And David was like, I completely understand where you're coming from. So it's just
And for me, I mean, I'm a huge fan. Heather Jolene, she mentioned, we collaborated on a Felipe Boteo song, Abrázame, right? We did that as a duet last summer. And, I'm a big fan of her music, right? And, everything that she puts out, she put all these Christmas songs out, she did these releases over the Christmas break. It's like, I'm a fan. I love her voice, right? Because I love the way she sings. Same thing with Chrissy E. It's funny. I met Chrissy E. I was down in San Antonio for Fanfare.
Right.
And I met Chrissy, I don't know if she's still on the podcast or not, but I met her in the elevator of all places. We just,
wow.
I think I was either coming out or she's coming in, and we just met. And it was just like random, right? It's like, hey, I follow you on social media, right? So, but but she's another one that I just love her music, and I'm a fan, right? And it for me personally, it's not about, oh, my music's better than yours,
right?
Or no, I could have done better. I could have done that song better, right? It's like, man, I'm pulling for you, because if nobody's pulling for you, then you don't have a shot. And if you don't have a shot, then I don't have a shot, right? And I sincerely pull for all the artists, whether they've been around, they're tenured, or they're new artists coming out. I am a fan because I want Tejano music to be around for a long time. So I'm going to be a fan regardless.
Right. Yeah. And that's the attitude you should have for sure. Yeah, and Chrissy E is amazing. She's
Yeah.
she's such a sweet, and she's also a humble person.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has an amazing personality, and she's an amazing girl. Love
Yeah.
it. Love
I
it.
agree.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she's
yeah.
got her Jonathan. You know, I've only met Jonathan once, her husband, and he just seems like he's just a down to earth, solid
Mhm.
dude. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just like I said, just that one meeting is like, man, this dude is like he's 100%, man.
Yeah, they make a good team for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. They sure do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Right
No,
on. Right.
you guys are all right, man. Mario, you're totally on cue on all this stuff, man. And you know, and the way I see it is like, and it's tough for me sometimes, you know, to support all these podcasts, you know, and you know, I come on probably, you know, sometimes a little bit earlier, sometimes later, you know, and you know, I'm getting prepared for our show, but I'll still go in there and say what's up, you know, to the other podcasters out there doing their show, especially like if they're
Yeah.
on Tuesday or if they're on Monday when we're on, or if they're on Wednesdays as well. You know, I try to pop in there real quick, you know, show my love, show my support, because the way I see it is, if you want people to support you, give them the support back so they can support
Absolutely.
you as well, because that's the
Yeah.
way I see how things need to roll. But yes, Jonathan, Chrissy, good friends of mine. I think they got a new movement, man. They're going to be headed to Hawaii, man. Ah, la máquina.
Woo!
Man, I'm gonna have
Was
to go
it,
check them out there.
I thought that was, I almost bid on that. Christy, is that a real thing, or was it just Jonathan just trying to pull a fast one?
Yeah. Big shout out to a good friend of mine, David Vela. He's the number one follower to New Mexico Radio Talk Show. This guy, he's not an artist, but he is an ex-football player, played with the Oakland Raiders back in the 80s, something like that. He was a receiver. He stands about 7 foot tall. No, just kidding. I think he's about 6'5", 6'6". Good friend of ours, man. He shows a lot of support, not just only to us, to all the podcasts. Now he's in the film industry. He's doing commercials. He's doing all kinds of stuff in the music, in the movie scenes now. I met him at one of at an award show, and since then we became like friends, like close friends. And you know, he calls me, I call him. Good friend of mine, like I said, man, and he shows a lot of support to a lot of podcasts, a lot of DJs, a lot of musicians. I don't know if he's ever heard of you, but now he is tonight. I mean, and that's what
There
this
you go.
show's all about. Is
He's
you
an
know,
amazing
giving
guy.
everybody what Mario's all about. So yes, no, he said it was a joke.
I knew it. I read all the way to the post, so you almost had me. I was like, wait, what?
Ay. No, but I mean, who wouldn't want to live in Hawaii? No, just kidding. Mario, so we're gonna play one of your songs, man, your latest release, man. We're gonna play it, man. And then we're gonna come back. We got more questionnaires for you. We're gonna put your music on the map here on our show, and we might get you to sing a song on the show. So be prepared for when we come back. All right.
All right.
he's like,
Get your
he goes,
vocals ready.
Okay. I
he's
better
like,
start
Heather
with my
didn't tell
vocal
us
parts
that.
in the back.
Ay. Here we go. It's called Siempre Seremos Como Uno. Goes a little something like this.
Por favor, mi amor, yo te ofrezco este amor guardado para ti, recordando los días festivales que pasamos juntos los dos, ignorando los chismes de todos, riéndonos juntos para siempre. Igual como Adán y Eva, ay, mi amor, nunca te dejaré. Y siempre seremos como uno, mientras que el Señor me dé vida. Yo me entrego a ti para siempre. No quiero llevarme nada. Ay, mi amor, que pertenece a ti. Por favor, mi amor, yo te ofrezco este amor guardado para ti, recordando los días festivales que pasamos juntos los dos, ignorando los chismes de todos, riéndonos juntos para siempre. Igual como Adán y Eva, ay, mi amor, nunca te dejaré. Y siempre seremos como uno, celebrando nuestro amor. Mi vida y mi alma te entrego, tú mereces lo mejor de mí, mientras que el Señor me dé vida. Yo me entrego a ti para siempre. No quiero llevarme nada. Ay, mi amor, que pertenece a ti.
Wow, that's a little bit of Mario Alberto, for those ustedes, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, Mario, vocals, man. One day you're gonna have to teach me. No, just kidding. You can't teach how to sing, right? You can only teach how to write and how to produce. Um, your vocals are very, very, very phenomenal, man. I just want to put that out there. There's not a lot of male artists that can sing. And I follow a lot of people. So you're one of them in my category. You got a great voice, man. Keep singing, man. Don't let anybody tell you different, especially the ones that are hating out there, right? So but God bless you, man, on your journey, man. We love what you're doing.
Thank you, man. That means a lot because my vocals are probably my greatest insecurity, if I'm being like totally vulnerable. It's only been within the past maybe 4 years that I've actually taken vocal like seriously. I had always sang, but I was just like, yeah, whatever, right? And actually, it wasn't. Actually, it's probably within the past maybe 3 years that I actually started like doing formal like vocal coaching, right? Just doing online lessons and stuff like that. And so it's still very much an insecurity for me. I'm still learning how to control my voice. I'm still learning, all the mechanics behind everything and stuff like that. So I your feedback really it means a lot. So thank you.
Well, you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. It sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have nothing to be insecure about.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm gonna come knocking on your door for some songwriting or some co-writing.
Oh, no, I got it. I got it. You're more than welcome. We can
Yeah.
exchange. We can exchange information. I got you. I just
Yeah.
wrote. I've written a song for Mr. Joe Leal, and I just wrote a song for Alize.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Right
I
on.
got you. I got you.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk offline. I love that.
Yeah. It would
Yeah.
be great. It would be great. I
Yeah.
love it. Anything that has to do with music, it's my jam.
Yeah.
It's my
Right
jam.
on. Yeah. So Henry, I was telling you, so that was a first song that I arranged and co-wrote. So that song originated as a poem by a former sister-in-law, right? She was a sister-in-law at the time, and she was very much into like poetry and haiku and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so the original poem didn't have like a lot of like body to it. And so I took the lyrics and changed it around and, put some music to it. And the band that I was playing with when I wrote that originally, we kind of recorded it in a studio, in Oregon, but never like really released it. And so I have like the original cassette that we recorded. If you guys remember cassettes back in the day, I might be dating myself a little bit, right? But I've got the original cassette that we recorded it on. And I just thought, I'm just gonna actually formally release it, do it right, and then formally release it. So I've got to give shout out to Sebi Contreras on that song. He hooked me up with an accordion player and a guitar player for that song. I started doing. I recorded the bass and the keyboards, and I think a drum demo up here in Seattle, and then the last time I was in San Antonio back in October. Did the vocals and some other refinements in his studio. So they're at Slack Monster. So I got to give him props for hooking me up with the accordion and the guitar player out there, and helping me with the production on that. So the mixing. So
Sevi from Texas Latino.
Yeah, Texas Latino. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's
real
a genius. He's very talented. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He knows his way around music, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I got to ask you guys. So what's the Tejano scene like there in New Mexico?
Well, I'm from New Mexico. Mercedes is in Kansas. So
Kansas. Huh?
New Mexico scenes out here. Oh my gosh, man. The Tejano scenes. I mean, if you bring a big band, it doesn't matter who you bring, right? You could bring Jay Pettis down here, you may get maybe 20 people.
Wow.
You bring like a La Senda, you bring like a La Maquinaria, Los Lileros, big norteño bands.
Yeah.
And you charge your 50-60 bucks out the door. Oh, you're gonna get it because that's what they support here. You go to like the northern New Mexico, like Albuquerque, Santa Fe, that area, Hobbs, Carlsbad, that area, Clovis, in those areas, they love Tejano music. You could bring a big band and pack it, just here in Roswell, New Mexico, they just don't support Tejano. For what reason, we don't know. And that's what we're trying to do here now, man. We're trying to bring a Tejano scene back here, man, and try to bring it back. So far it has died here. And I say it's died here because nobody wants to support it, because you don't support it, how can you bring it, but you're bringing norteño bands, from Mexico and all that, so forth, and you're packing the venues here, so and I just think, once somebody promotes it here, and it's going to take a little growing, to be honest with you. I wish I could bring a Jay Pettis, a Ruben Ramos, Marcos Orozco. I wish I could bring a band like that, or I could bring Mario Alberto here. I mean, wish I could do that, man. We're working on something, man, to bring in something, but it's gonna be in for a long haul because nobody supports it here. It sucks, man. I got Tejano in my blood. I got country in my blood. I got salsa. I got it all because I listen to all kinds of music, man. Mercedes, how's it out there for you guys?
Yeah, what's it in Kansas?
The Tejano scene is non-existent here in Kansas. It's a salsa scene here. It's salsa, yeah. There's no Tejano, legitimately no Tejano. It's all salsa. Wow. And then, so like Mark Anthony comes here, that kind of thing. But the Tejano scene is like zilch. Nothing. Wow. Mm-hmm. And then of course you have like Christian artists that come out here, and then you have your quintessential like Mariah Carey's and that come out here, but the Tejano scene is like non-existent.
So there's no stations out there either, huh?
Mm-mm. And I'm originally from Dallas, so I'm only here for medical reasons. But it's just like it's non-existent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's sad.
Crazy. Yeah. Seattle's kind of the same way. Like I said, I mean, there are a lot of Tejanos around,
Right,
but they're all kind of like scattered, and to
right.
try and get them to come together, for any event. We've had, DLG, brought out here. We've had Jay Perez and,
Hmm.
Fronteras come. Frontera did bring in a pretty good show, but like when Jay Perez came, it wasn't. It was interesting because they brought Jay Perez and they hooked him up with a couple other bandas.
Oh, nice.
And so when he got up to do his set, there wasn't like a lot of Tejano presence.
Yeah.
And it was great. Put on a great show.
Hmm.
But there's just not a lot of support. It's hard to get it. So
Yeah. I mean, we have the community out here. We have a lot of Mexicanos. We have a lot of everything. We just don't have the scene.
yeah,
And it's horrible.
yeah,
But the salsa scene is prevalent.
yeah.
We just don't have the Tejano scene, and it's sad.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah,
very-
and I know for me when I perform up here, I factor that in, right? Because we have up here in Seattle, I'm guessing Kansas is probably similar, right? There's such a huge melting pot of Latinos in general, right?
yes.
And so cumbia seems to be a pretty common
Yeah.
rhythm. You can cater to a lot of people with cumbias, right?
Right.
And so I factor in a lot. I'm a lot like you, Henry. I'm a country guy, right? Growing up in a small town, working on a farm, man. I'm a country guy at heart, man. But yeah, trying to mix everything. So when I do my sets, it's a lot of cumbias, but it's a mix of country and Tejano as well.
Is
And
it?
so yeah, and so it wasn't New Year's was the first show that I had done in a long time that was true Tejano, right? 100% Tejano.
I love
So
that. Yeah.
yeah, so it was good. I was excited. I was like, I get to actually do pure Tejano, right? So it was great.
I love that. And you guys love country, and I don't. I dislike country.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I can't. Like I love salsa,
Yeah.
merengue, bachata, but I like Journey.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
like I'm an old head. Like
Yeah.
I'm an '80s baby too. So like I'm gonna be 50 years old this year. So it's just like I like the old kind of stuff. I like
Yeah.
jazz. I
Yeah.
like old-timey music.
Mhm.
If I would be born, it would be born like in the Audrey Hepburn days. Like
Oh
that's
wow. Yeah,
like
yeah.
an old head like that. Like I like
Yeah.
old-timey stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like country music is not really like my
Not
jam.
your thing.
They
Yeah.
talk
That's
about
okay.
it's like drinking and tractors and that's just not me.
That's
But I
farm life,
will say
right?
I do like soulful girls that sing, like Jennifer Nettles.
Oh
Like
yeah.
she has an amazing soulful
Yeah.
voice. Like if they have like really good soulful voices,
Yeah.
then I'm good. Like I
Yeah.
can handle it. But if they have like too twangy
Too
of a
twang. Yeah.
something, like I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
D-
There you go. Saludos. Keep going.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Mr.
Saludos,
Joliel.
man. Saludos to Joe
The gentleman
Leal.
that I wrote for. Yeah, that's a gentleman I wrote for, Mr. Joliel. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Julian. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I heard Joe's interview when he was on another podcast a couple months ago. Yeah, just super humble guy, man.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. He's another God-driven individual. He's
Yeah.
super amazing.
Yeah.
Very humble. Yeah.
Right on.
Out of Chicago.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
so
you could be doing anything else other than singing and being a musician, and other than the job you're doing now, what would you be doing, you think?
Ooh, that's a good question. Actually, I would probably be a chef. I love to
Really?
cook. Yeah. So the company that I worked for back in the day, they've changed it now, but they would pay for schooling, right? So I took advantage and went to culinary school. Did my music schooling through them as well, but went to culinary school. So I had a catering company. Was a personal chef there for a few years before I got into ministry full time. And so if I wasn't doing anything, I would probably be doing something related to the kitchen.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So do you cook a lot at home?
Not so much anymore. My wife does a lot of the cooking now. But there for a while, I used to cook. She would do the baking and I would do all the cooking.
I
But
love
now, my wife's retired, and so she does probably 80% of the cooking nowadays. So
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. So what was your favorite thing to cook when you were in culinary school?
Oh man, God, that's tough. Because they teach you so many things in culinary school, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
make
yeah.
so many different things. Um, Ooh, that's tough.
So did you do like beef Wellington? Did you do
We
like
did the
all
beef
that?
Wellingtons. I would have to say, um, probably my favorite is ossobuco, a lamb ossobuco.
Do you like lamb?
I love lamb. Yeah,
Really? It's
yeah.
not too gamey for you? I feel like it's too gamey.
A lot of it depends on how it's cooked and
Mhm.
the cut of the lamb that you're using. Like a
Okay.
lamb chop or a leg of lamb is not as gamey.
Okay.
Ground lamb tends to be a little bit more gamey, but
Yeah.
because an ossobuco you can braise it either in red wine or in beer and chicken stock or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's tons of flavor. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Nice. Well,
You haven't tried it? Got to try it out.
I love
Ossobucos
that you
too.
went to culinary school. I love that
Yeah.
so much. Did you do desserts as well? Or did you just
No,
do you just
pastry is baking is too much of a science. I'm more of a like échale aquí, échale aquí,
right?
right? Como salga, está bien, right? Just whoever it comes out. Yeah, baking was too much of a science. I never had the patience. I mean, I wasn't good math to begin with, right? So
Got it.
yeah, so
Got
I
it.
just went with whatever I could, whatever sounded good, and throw it together. Yeah.
I love that. So what's next for you? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so I'm working on putting shows together for this year. Trying to get more outdoor shows this year. We have a ton of wineries out here in the eastern part of the state, and they tend to bring a lot of crowds, right? And so I'm trying to get out there. Also trying to put a band together
Okay.
because I use backing tracks and I'm looking for a drummer and a guitar player. Because I can keep my keyboards and percussion tracked, and I can just jump on the bass. And
Nice.
I would, if I can get a 3-piece band together, I think that'll be good. So
So
that's what
are
I'm
you
targeting. I'm gonna start putting some like audition information together, some videos out there. It's like, hey guys, this is the style of music that I'm looking for. If you can play, or if you're interested in learning the style, let's set you up for an audition and stuff like that.
are you
So that's going to be
posting
my
that?
big.
Are you
What's that?
posting that like on TikTok? Are you posting it like holding auditions like, hey, I'm from so and so, and you're posting it on TikTok, like to send in auditions, or how are you posting that you're holding auditions for your band so we can also post that out for you?
Yeah, I'll post it on all my social media on Facebook, IG, and TikTok.
Mhm.
Um, because with technology, right? You can audition anywhere, right?
Right, right, yeah,
Ideally, I'd like to try and find musicians here within the state.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I'm praying that doors will open up so I can get down to perform in the Texas this year. So I will
yeah,
need a band.
yeah,
So if there are musicians down there, there's definitely going to be a need for that as well. So, but once I get that posted, I'll definitely let you guys know.
yeah.
But it'll definitely be through social media. Auditions, I think, with with the phones and cameras, stuff like that, you can audition, virtually if need be. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay,
yeah,
well, we'll definitely keep a lookout with that, and we can definitely help post and stuff, and help you out that way and get you hooked up. So yeah,
yeah,
we'll be happy to help in any
yeah,
way
that'd
we
be great.
can. Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
So
great.
Mario, what's one of your favorite food, snacks, chips, candy bar, drink? So that way when you're performing, some of the fans, that are, or some of our fans that are out here, when they see you, they can, be kind enough and be precious enough and buy you a candy bar, or a bag of chips, or little drinky drink, or
Uh,
what's one of your favorites, man?
okay, so snacks. Oh man, food. Oh man, because I'm a foodie, man, dude. I love all kinds of food. There isn't a food that I don't like. It's funny. As much of a foodie as I am, one thing I don't like are onions. I can't do onions for whatever reason. I can do cooked onions or caramelized, but raw onions, I don't know. And I love spicy food, but onions to me are spicy. And so,
Spicy.
yeah. So I guess if somebody were to bring me a snack, I like salted peanuts in the shell, right? So I love those. And then if somebody were to like approach the stage and say, "Hey, I brought you a snack," plain Lay's potato chips, because the grease kind of helps coat the vocal cords a little bit. So um, not ideal to be eating while you're singing, but I think food in general. I mean, I fit the profile. I love anything I can put in a tortilla, man. Anything I can roll it up and dip with salsa and cilantro. I'm good with that tacos, man. I fit that profile to a T, right? Fit that one. I do drink, although I don't drink heavily. I do like to enjoy a good bourbon every once in a while. Yeah. So, but
And
I
any
try not to
specific
drink
kind?
while I'm on stage.
Any
What's
specific
that?
kind of bourbon? Any specific brand of bourbon?
My go-to right now has been Basil Hayden, which
Okay.
is made by Jim Beam Distillery. But yeah, I mean, I just try and stick to water when I'm on stage for the most part.
You don't drink like a tea, like a warm tea to help with your vocals?
No, if I do anything, it'll be like throat coat. I don't know if you're familiar with throat coat.
There's a tea that has a
Yeah,
throat.
it's a
Yeah.
tea, yeah, with a little bit of honey.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good. That's better
yeah,
than Lay's oily potato
yeah.
chip.
I know. Well, we're talking snacks, right? So I mean, it's my foodie side. I love snacks, right? Yeah.
And I'm hi, Mr. Jimenez. Hi, Mr. Jimenez. Um, I'm with you on the onions. I can't do onions, and I think it's a texture thing.
Oh wow.
They're not spicy, but I don't know where you're getting spicy, but
Yeah.
it's a textural thing. Like it's
Okay.
the same with bell peppers. Like I can eat them raw, but I
Yeah.
can't eat them cooked. It's
Oh
weird.
wow.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and
Interesting.
yeah, I can't say that I'm a foodie, but um, um, I like pretty much almost everything, but I'm allergic to like a lot of stuff.
Oh wow.
Like a lot. My
Yeah.
list is long,
Yeah.
but I do like a lot of different things too. So yeah.
Yeah. Especially as I've gotten older. I mean, there's foods that I just can't eat anymore because they don't sit well, right? Pork is one of those things, man. I love carnitas, but if I eat them, my stomach just doesn't do well with them anymore. So
The older you get, your body is just like, not today, Satan. Mm-mm.
yeah. Yeah. It's funny. We'll go out to eat, and if every once in a while I'll get a plate of carnitas, right? Because I just want them.
Yeah.
And my wife, she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm having carnitas." She's like, you can't eat that stuff." It's like, "Yeah, but I know, but we're gonna be home in a couple hours anyway, so it'll be fine."
And then you're complaining, and then she's
Yeah.
like, "What did I tell you?"
Like, "Te dije, I told you."
Right, exactly. "What did
Yeah.
I tell you?" She's like, "Go sleep in another room because I don't want to hear it."
Yeah, for real. For
Mhm,
real, man.
mhm.
That's hilarious.
Yep,
But
yep.
No,
That's what I
but
do with my
my hats are off to everybody that is supporting Mr. Mario Alberto, man, his whole production team, his promotion team, uh the wife, I mean, I had to put that out there, because that's the number one supporter right there, man, when you're
yeah.
when you're in this
Mhm.
business, when you got a
Yep.
partner. Doesn't matter if you're married or in a relationship. Hey man, it's a what do you call it, man? So because it's a struggle, man, when you got to leave the girlfriend or the wife at home and they still cook dinner for you and you're out there making the bucks. And so
Yeah.
my hat's off going out to your wife, man, and the whole staff, that support you, man. I have to
Yeah.
put that out there to all the musicians. So
Yeah.
um, it's not easy
Yeah.
to be with the musicians. So
Oh no, for real, man. My wife, she's my biggest supporter, man. I can't, I can't thank her enough, really, for the support. Right, she does a lot of my graphics. Right, she's now my camera operator right now. So I'm performing stuff
that's
like that.
awesome,
But
man.
so she's a big fan. She's a little biased, right? But she's but she's a big fan. I'm constantly asking her like, "Hey, are you am I at a balance, right, with things, right? Are you okay? Am I spending too much time in the studio, right? And I try and ask her on a daily basis, how's your love tank, right? Is it good, right? Okay, I'm good. And there's been times she's like, you know what, that thing fell off like 5 miles ago and it's arcing as I'm dragging behind me, right? And so that's my cue is like, okay, I got to put everything aside and I have to prioritize her, right? So everything else doesn't matter at that point. So we have a pretty good check and balance, making sure things are not out of whack. And so because of that, she's comfortable and supporting, and she backs everything I do. So I got to give her mad props, and to all the significant others that are out there, the men and the females that are out there doing that as well. So because it can be taxing, and as musicians and as artists, we can wear our ego on our sleeves, and sometimes that can get out of balance. So it's good to have somebody to keep you rooted and keep you grounded. So
Absolutely. Kudos to you for that. Not a lot of couples are able to last, number one, and not a lot of couples are able to communicate and able to
or mix business with pleasure, or what they say. So hey, you guys got a great team going on, man. And that's just how it works. And when you start a business, or you start something you love, and you say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and you're either with me or you're not. And
yeah,
and look what you guys have accomplished, in your guys' lifetime. And now she's doing the pictures for you, doing the graphics, man.
yeah,
That I love, man, is when a companion, a relationship, when they get together, man, it's awesome, man.
yeah,
Because it makes it easier for the artist.
yeah.
And we got a shout out, man, to Esmeralda Garcia Benavides. Says, I hope you all have a great night and enjoy the show. Yeah, thank you, Esmeralda. See you tomorrow, girlfriend. We got Gil Jimenez in the house.
Ew.
That's a son of Flaco Jimenez in the house. We got Joe Leal. Got Daddy Hernandez, moderator in the house. Kendra Beniz, our moderator in the house. También. We got David Vela in the house. We got Joe Leal is in the house. Chicago. We got Chicago. We got Corpus in the house. We got San Antonio. Man, you got Heather Jolene in the house. Rap Rosie Promotions in the house. We got Brenda Blanco. She's going to be on our show next week. She's checking out the show. We got Dwayne in the house. We got Irene Mendoza, man. Mario, how do you get so much followers, man? Oh my gosh, man. I guess we got to be an artist, right?
I don't know. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier, right? You throw yourself out there. People like me, cool, right? If they don't, what do you swipe left or swipe right, whichever way you got to swipe. Right?
There you go. Or there's a block button.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm very appreciative for everybody, that goes out and follows and likes and supports. And yeah, I just try to be me, man. I try to be authentic, try to be real, and like you said at the beginning of the show, right? We hope that you get that wow, right? How did you get this guy on there, right? And it's just, I think there's something to said for the simplicity and authenticity of just who you are, and I think people can relate to that rather than some persona that I feel I need to be because I'm Mario Alberto, right? What you see right now is what you're going to get on stage, and pretty low key, pretty chill. I might be a little bit more energetic on stage, right? But yeah, I mean, I think with that, I'm hoping that appeals to people, and that's why people are liking it, and then just having the music on top of it is just a bonus.
That's awesome. That's all you can be is you, right? Be your authentic self, and then the rest just follows in place.
Yeah.
You just got to be your God-given self.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, we love everything you're doing, and continue the success, Mario. And feel free, man, to message me after the show, man. And I mean, I know it's late over there in your state of the woods, and but I mean, feel free to message us, man. And if you want to get a song written with Mercedes, she's not up all hours of the night, but she'll coordinate that with you, and just stay in touch, man. And I know Heather's got my contact, and Rap Rosie también.
Yeah.
They know, promoters know where they could send their music to, and their artists to, and they know where their music is going to get heard.
Yeah.
So, and that's why they give us the opportunity to have their artists on, and because they know what gets heard. And like I said, we're not the best in the business. We try, and and I just have to say we try because because we are not the best, and we just want to make sure everybody's happy in the long run. And continue to do what you love to do, and we're here to support. That's what it's all about. 1000%
Yeah.
support our artists, fans. We thank everybody that shows us love every single week. I know we can get boring at times because we may say the same question or word it differently, and I mean, who wants to listen to a podcast, right? No, just kidding. No, we love what we do.
Yeah. No,
We love what we
but
do,
you never
Mario.
know what you're
And
gonna get, right? What is that, Forrest Gump? It's like a box of chocolates, right? You just never know, right? You could ask the same question to 20 different people, or you can get 20 different answers, right? But that's the great thing about it, right? And so yeah, no, I love it, man. I love the fact that, with technology, you can have these talk shows, you can have these podcasts, right? Because it's, if nothing, there's great opportunity to meet and connect with you people at a minimum. So
well, yes, because back then you didn't have these virtuals, and I mean, I believe back then it was a beeper, pager, and maybe a flip phone, maybe
yeah,
if you were lucky, and but technology, man, is where it's at. You could do job interviews through
yeah,
virtual, man. It's crazy. You're the boss says, "Hey, I can't. I need you to show up to the interview." Well, I can't make it because I'm in another state. Well, there's virtual.
yeah, yeah.
There's
Y'all might not
Zoom.
be old
There's
enough to
Skype.
remember the
There's
party
this.
lines. I don't know if you guys remember the party. Do you remember the
No.
party lines, Mercedes?
Yes,
You'd
yes.
call on the weekend and you just have a bunch of random people on
Yep,
there. That's how you connected back.
yep, yep, yep.
Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm kind of dating myself a little bit with that one, but
That's all right.
yeah, that's
That is
hilarious.
all right. My
Yeah,
kids, I have a 28-year-old and a 21-year-old. So they're always making fun of me because I'll bring up something like from the past and they're
yeah,
like, "What is that, mom?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, get out of my face."
yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to have to explain it. But then you have all this stuff coming back from like our time and
yeah,
you're like, "Are you serious? Like, are they
yeah.
really bringing that back?" And you're
Hmm.
like, "That needs to stay like
Yeah,
back where it was."
that was in the past for a reason.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly, exactly. You're like, "Why are they bringing these pants back? Why are they bringing this fanny pack back?" And people are,
Yeah,
like, so amazed by it, like, the kids are so amazed by it, and you're like,
yeah,
"That was so, like, 70, 80s, like,
yeah.
you're so amazed by this?" Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
in the past.
Like, come on, man. I had those my sophomore year, man. Come on.
Exactly, exactly. You're like, you're so and they're
Oh
wearing it
man.
on their chest, and
Yeah.
they're wearing it, like, whatever, you're like, "Calm down." Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
way in the past. Oh my god.
That's
Have you
hilarious,
have
man.
you seen that they're bringing the BlackBerries back? You remember the BlackBerry phones?
Oh my God, yeah.
Have
Are
you
they
seen it?
bringing? I thought they went out of
Yeah, those are.
business.
Yeah, no, they're bringing them back, and I'm like, "Oh my god." I
Oh
just
my
saw it
God.
online the other day. I'm like, "They're just wanting to, like, rotate everything and bring it back."
Wow. I didn't like Blackberries
Well,
then.
well, the best BlackBerry they could have ever made was the one that has a little mouse in the middle of the phone. That was the best one
As
they could
long
have
as it
ever
didn't
made. And
fall
then they started
out. That was the
right,
yeah.
right.
Because as long as that little ball didn't
And then
fall
they
out,
started
man, you couldn't do jack without it.
and then they started trying to get fancy and compete like with Apple and Android and start making it all freaking touchscreen. And yeah, it still had the end and the call button and the home button were like pushing buttons, but still, man, they jacked up BlackBerry when they went to try to keep up with the competitor. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, man, only if they would have kept it with the same style with the ball in the middle without falling out.
Yeah. I didn't realize BlackBerry was coming back. I'll have to go check that out. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're making a comeback, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it may be a few years, but they're making it. I bet you, and the reason why I say a few years is because they got to keep up with today's market, right?
Yeah.
They got the new Samsung Ultra 25s out, right? They
Yeah.
got the new iPhone 17 Pro Max.
Mhm.
They got the new Androids out. So what is going to benefit Black to get people to purchase and buy it?
Wow.
Maybe back with the old school ball in the middle. You never know,
Yeah.
right? With more higher end technology built into the phone, you never know. But they
Yeah.
are making they're going to try to make a strong comeback, man. So I might have to give me one
Wow.
of those. No, just kidding. I mean,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
make sure the little mouse ball don't fall out.
But you know what I miss the most about our time back in the day is the cassette tapes, and we would have to put tape over the thing and actually listen to the radio and
Yeah.
record, like
Yeah.
have to wait for the song to
Oh
come
yeah.
on, have to call
Yeah.
in and say, "Hey, can you play this song?" and
Oh
have to
yeah.
actually wait for the song and like be on point
Yeah.
and hit record. Like
Yeah.
those are like the moments that I miss the most.
Yeah.
Because nobody like this time day and age like comprehends like what we had to do to like
Oh yeah.
for our music. Like we had to like hit record, or if we wanted to record over the music, we
Yeah.
had to do certain things, or if we wanted to rewind the stupid tape,
Oh God.
we had to
Yeah.
get the pencil. Or I mean, that nobody knows the stuff we had to go through for our music back in
Yeah.
the day.
Oh man, making a mixtape was a lot of work, man. Because
Yes,
you'd wait all day for the song to come on,
right.
and if you missed it, right, you're just like, God, now I've got to wait for who knows how long before it comes back into the rotation.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And then when you gave a mixtape to somebody that you really liked,
Yeah.
it was like so important to that person because they're like, oh my God, they just
Yeah.
did all this work for you. And then you wrote on that piece of paper that goes with the tape, like
Yeah.
every song that was on there. And it was just like so important. Like those are the
Yeah.
days that I miss because
Yeah.
kids nowadays will never know the hardship that we went through.
No,
It's
man.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that I miss.
The heartbreak of having your cassette player eat your cassette tape.
Yes, and all the thing comes out
Yeah.
and you're trying to fix it. Like,
Yeah. And it was never the same. Never the
right,
same.
right.
Yeah.
It would like make that like
Yeah.
in the middle of the song.
For real,
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Oh man. You're taking me back now.
I know, I miss those days.
That's hilarious.
But all in for all, guys, technology has taken over, man. Because I mean, back then, right? You had to put in that hard work. I mean, now, I mean,
Yeah.
you still do now, but not as much, man. With this technology of, now you got AI, and now you got,
Mm.
just in emails, and then you can record from home. You don't
Yeah.
have to go to a big record label or a label to go get recorded. You can
Yeah.
record from your cell phone. I mean, the
Yeah.
technology, right? But back then,
Mhm.
I mean, that's all they had was radio stations back then. You know what I mean? And especially like when they had a radio station, or whatever station you could pick up, in your
Yeah.
city or your town or wherever you're passing through. But back then, that's all you had. So you had to
Yeah.
make it work. So now the people
Yeah.
that are a little bit older now, right, that are trying to figure out all this technology, and I mean, it's benefiting them now, pero,
Mm.
but yes, I mean, I have a few cassettes of some old school artists, man, and I'm just like, I wonder what happened if I put it in well, first of all, you got to find a cassette player.
Yeah. Where are you gonna find a cassette player these days? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
nowadays you get in a car, there's not even a CD player. I'm like, what the heck?
Mhm.
Where's the
Yeah.
CD player at? I asked one
Oh
of the
yeah.
sales guys that sold me my vehicle, and it's before I got this one now. I'm like, hey man, where's the CD player at? He's like, hen dog, there is no CD player. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I
Yeah.
got a 2017 GMC Yukon, and I had just gotten it, man. And I said, sir, before I purchase this thing, does this thing got a CD player? He's like, well, let's find out. So we go into the car or the SUV. Sure enough, I'm like, all right,
Oh wow.
I'm buying this sucker. It's got a CD player.
Sold.
I don't know if it works or not, but I
That's
got
an
a CD
expensive
player.
CD player, man.
Oh
Oh
man, no,
man.
but I mean,
But you know
technology
what?
is where it's at, man.
With the advent of technology, though, man, it's like I was talking about this song that you guys played. Being able to record up here in Seattle and then send the tracks to Sevi, right? So he can load them in there, and he can work with the musicians down there, and I don't even have to be there, right? We just send everything through email, we transfer stuff like that. It makes it easier, to work with musicians from around the globe, really, if you wanted to.
Exactly.
Whereas back in the day, you had to be in the studio, right? And you get charged, the $150 an hour, to be in the studio, right? To record and all that stuff. And now, I can do most of my heavy lifting here at home and then just bounce the tracks to him. And then when I get down there, we can finish him off. And it saves, time and money, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so, and you still get the same
Well,
results at the end of the day.
well, you can even record your voice from your. I mean, of course, you're doing everything professional, right? You got your own microphone, you got your own equalizer and all that, and synthesizers and stuff like that. But if you wanted to just record iPhone or Android, I mean, it'll pick up your voice. You know what I mean? And then you send it to the producer. They mix it and master it from there, and then they send it back to you. Like, wow, how did this happen?
Yeah, for real.
And
Yeah,
then
for real.
and then when they see you in Texas or when they see you near the studio, they're like, hey, come on by, let's touch up on the vocals a little bit, and they'll get you to record a segment, and there's your
Yeah,
full recording with the blink of an eye.
yeah.
Crazy technology.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Life is good.
So, so that's where it's
Life is
at,
good.
Mario. Mercedes
Yeah,
technology. I
that's
mean,
right.
it's crazy, man. Or like when you're driving, right? You're driving down the highway and they say no texting and driving, but they said no speaking on your phone and driving.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you could hit the little speaker on your phone and you could say, hey, on my way, and it picks it up, and then
Yeah.
it says send. Man, technology, like I said. But God
I
bless you
just
guys,
learned my
man.
car had that feature over the weekend. I had no idea. I accidentally hit the button. I was like, what was that? It's like, oh, it's a speed feature. I had no idea. I've had my car for 2 years. I had no idea that even existed on there.
Well,
Yeah.
earlier today, man, I was driving to the convenience store and I said, "Hey Google," and my freaking car starts talking to me. I'm like,
Oh
"What
wow.
the heck?" I forgot my phone is synced to the car, and
Oh, got
it
it. Yeah, yeah.
started repeating what I was saying, and then it said I couldn't find that direction. So no, but that's just it's crazy how all this technology had just taken over the game. And ladies and gentlemen, please, I ask you guys, follow Mario Alberto, man. Just because he's in another city, another town, another state, give him a like, give him a follow, look him up on social media platforms. Um, Book him for an event, private event. Share his music to your family. Uh, like I said, all I can ask you guys, support these artists that come on our show. If we're supporting them, I think you guys can take, a couple of seconds to support these guys and follow them on Facebook, man. And Mario, I want to say thank you to, your humbleness, man. And there's a lot of artists that are not very humble, man. They're kind of pretty much straightforward, and they come to the punch, and they think they're better than others. And some of them are, some of them are not. But and from what I'm getting here, you got a great vibe. You're very down to earth, very, very, very humble as a speaker. It's not all about what you can do. You're putting out your music, you're making a name for yourself. You got a great team behind you. You can count on us 1000% to put your music
I
out there.
appreciate it.
Is there anything you want to say to production companies, people who've worked with you, people who share your stuff, anything out there that you would like to leave before we head out? I do want to say thank you for hanging out with us, man, giving us your time. You could be with your family in the studio or
Yeah.
wherever you guys are relaxing at tonight, man. And God bless you guys so much, man. Is there anything you would like to say to family, friends, producer, or well, productions, promotions, and everybody out there? Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I mean, just a big thanks to Rosie and Heather, for coordinate this. Rosie and Heather, part of the rap team out there. They distribute my music, so big shout out to them. Even the folks that jumped on the call, tonight. From Dwayne out in Michigan, and Chrissy, and out Corpus. All the other folks that jumped in from around the New Mexico region, and Dallas and all the different cities, Corpus. Just a thank you, for them taking their time to come in and listen, as well to the podcast to support you guys as well. Shout out to my family, not only my wife here, but to my kids and, my extended family out in Oregon and in Texas, man. I'm looking forward to seeing him soon. And shout out to Sevi and congrats on his new album that he's got out there. The Texas Latino, their new CD that they just dropped. So, like you said, having a team really is key. And those folks that I mentioned, they're part of that team that helps get me out there. And so, uh, I'm super thankful for them, and then as you guys as well, giving me the time, the platform tonight. So appreciate it. I had a great time tonight. Appreciate it.
And that's what we like to hear. We thank you, Mario. That's the kind of atmosphere we like to hear, man. We like for the artists to feel like they're at home. We like to make them feel comfortable. There's times, that we don't always have that.
Mm,
Um, but that's our goal
yeah.
on our shows is to make sure the artists are feeling like like they're relaxed and they're not going to get asked some weird questions, but we like to make sure they're feeling at home, and we thank you for that, and God bless you to your journey. Continue the success. Your music is great, man. Your vocals are phenomenal. Looking forward to having you back on anytime you're putting out a video or music, or you're putting on a event, or you're going to be out there somewhere. Give us a buzz, give us a ring, get in touch with myself or Mercedes, or have Heather reach out to me, and we can always put you on the schedule, man. And we're looking forward to having you back on. Like I said, God bless you to you and your family. Thank you for your time. God
Thank you
bless.
guys. All right. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, Mercedes Renee. Another nail in the coffin to start off day number day number 6. No, just kidding. Day number 6, man, of the year, man, of 2026, and day number 2 of episode number 2 for New Mexico Radio Talk Show to kick off 2026. What an awesome, awesome, awesome gentleman, man. I mean, this guy has a vocal range, man. And there's not a lot of great male singers, man. And to carry a tune, carry a beat, and to put out great music, to record your own music, to produce it, and then to have the great voice behind it,
Yeah.
it is not an easy work of task, man. And I don't know who I'm speaking for, because it's like if you could do all of that in one, you're a phenomenal musician, because a lot of artists have to practice vocals. They got to go to, vocal lessons and, exercises on YouTube or AI, with all this technology, they can go through different cycles of exercises, for their stuff, right? And but awesome, awesome guy, Mario Alberto, man. Thank you to Rap Rosie Promotions with Heather also, man, for making it possible to bring him on. Great, great, great gentleman. Like I said, it's not easy to put your vocals out there. Um, Everybody asks me sometimes, guys, they're like, Ken Dog, are you gonna just be on the podcast, or are you gonna be an artist too? I'm like, well, if I could carry a tune, I would be in business, man. You can catch one of my lives from the New Year's Eve bash that I was at. And mind you, had a couple of alcoholic beverages, maybe a bourbon in my system. And when you get that nice Tejano music going on, I'm like, all right, man, this is my groove here. And Hen Dog was singing behind the lyrics, so and I looked at the video the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I edit this? Because I don't carry a tune. So, God bless you guys, Mercedes. What an awesome artist, right? Talented musician, right?
Yes, he did very, very good. I mean, we did a 2-hour interview. We're at an hour and 54 minutes. So obviously we kept talking. No, but he's amazing, very humble. His music is awesome. So yeah, it was very good. And he is a God-fearing man. So that's just a bonus. So yeah, it was a good interview, and he's amazing. So hopefully we'll have him back on the show, and we can help him promote that he's looking for a band and stuff. So yeah, it'll be good.
And yes, it's always great to put it out there, right? To help out all these artists that are looking for, a singing coach, a writing coach, a band. I mean, it's awesome
Yeah,
to work with different artists, man. So hopefully he gives you a ring in your DMs there and helps you over there with you get a song written for him, and I mean, I know he talked about that on the
yeah,
show, and
yeah,
it's all about helping each other, man, and trying to grow the cultura. So and
absolutely.
just try to make it happen, right? Just try to make and it's tough to make everybody happy, but you try to do your best and you put it out there for the fans and hopefully they like it, right? And you just wrote one for Joe Leal, which is an awesome song as well. You just wrote one for Alize Nino. Now they just got to do the mix and mastering to it, putting it in the studio, recording it, and then it'll be out in no time, and then we'll be able to air it on the show, and your name will be underneath it, as a songwriter, and you get your credits and stuff like that for writing the song, and that's what it's all about, is helping each other. Yes, Chrissy E, thank you. She says great interview. Much love and aloha to Chrissy E out there, man. She's a good friend of mine.
Hey, Chrissy.
Great artist as well. Thank you guys so much, man. I just want to say thank you to all our new followers, new listeners out there, especially our moderators, man, working hard in the chat sections. Kendra and Dottie out there out of San Antonio, Texas. I know they pop in sometimes late, and it is not nothing against them. They come on when they can. They get
Yeah.
off work. Everybody works, guys, but they work hard on the show. They try to better our shows as well, so they're good at what they do. So Mercedes is good at what she does. I'm trying to do what I'm doing. No, just kidding. I'm good at what I do. And I just try my very best to get everybody out there. So we got an interview tomorrow. We got a Mexican guest tomorrow. I think Mercedes is going to be in my A. Maybe she may be on. I mean, I may be on. I don't know. But I do got a few hosts that are going to be able to take over that segment. I got Esmeralda Benavides going to be coming in. I got Marisol Flores all the way from New Mexico coming in to help out on that show. I do got Eileen Guti, who was on our show a few weeks ago with our other Spanish guest. I think it was Aurora Ortiz. She did very well. So I'm bringing Eileen Guti to help in on that interview tomorrow. So tomorrow's interview is going to be Magali Valez. I believe she's got some realtors that she does and stuff like that. So if you need a home or whatever you need, Magali Valez is a girl you need to contact. Right. So tomorrow's show is one, if you're looking to buy, looking to rent, you're looking to get into something like that. That's the show you need to watch out tomorrow. Right. That starts at 8 o'clock Texas time. And then I don't got anything down for Thursday. I do. I got something for Thursday. I will be live at a spot I'm going to be performing at on Friday for probably about an hour or something like that. Do a quick little interview there and then get back home and then rest up for the rest of the night. But just got a lot of interviews coming up, guys. If you got any interviews that you would like to get on the show, like I said before, reach out to us. We'll get them scheduled. And first of all, if you need a manager, promoter, these are the two people you're looking at right now. Give us a call, give us a ring. We'll take care of you guys. We got contracts, we got it all. We're all professional. Working on getting an LLC to even be more professional. So God bless you guys. Do want to say thank you guys so much, man. 2 hour show. We normally don't do that, but when we got good guests and good people, and we like to keep it going. All right. So God bless you guys so much. Mercedes, anything you want to say? I know you and Tina held down the fort last night. I wasn't in there to moderate last night. I had some other things going on, and I appreciate you ladies for stepping up to the plate and hosting down that great interview as well. I got to catch it right before tonight's show, the rest of it, and very awesome questions, very awesome artists as well. Hopefully we can have her back on and maybe do a music session or something like that. Maybe when we do our little jam session on our show. So anything you want to leave out there to your fans out there, friends out there that show us love, Mercedes?
And yeah, just thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing love, like, share, follow. Yeah, and just thank you guys. We love you so much. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. We love you guys.
We love you guys so much, man. Thank y'all. God bless. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody. And be sure to like, share, follow our page, man. New Mexico Radio Talk Show, man. Thank you to all our peoples, our moderators in the house. And thank you so much. We'll see you guys not next week, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Bye.